everyone, it's Lynette with Charmed Grammy Crochet, and today I'm so excited. It's completely done, and I totally love it. It is so friggin' me. So, let me show you. I will put it on, and I put my camera so that hopefully once I get this on, you'll be able to see the back. I just move this little box out of the way. Okay, so this is, let me see if I can back up. So pockets are in. I should wear my glasses so I could see better. And I don't know, see, I have these cute. These are so cute, guys. I'll show you. I have this one. See, it's a little elephant. And then he's in the dark orange as well. So this is the elephant buttons I was talking about. And I really thought, just stay there really nice, okay? Like just one or two buttons right here would be cool. Or maybe up and like really make it. But the bottom line is these buttons don't fit through this. And some people suggested like that I just put the buttons on like so and then do a loop. But with this being now so wide so that it goes around me and, you know, I wanted it to go this way. I don't know that the loop thing will work. What do you guys think? I'm thinking I have to go with a toggle so I can, you know, like one of those long tubey kind of buttons. Or make a sash. And I really don't want to make a belt. So, anyway, this is, the sleeves turned out awesome. The pockets, and then they're just, flip around. It's large enough that holds my cell phone, which is why I made it so long, because I got that S10 and now it's big. And it gives me just a little bit of room so I know it won't fall out. And I made that long on both sides. This is a different yarn. But I didn't care because it's inside and you really don't see it. And what little trim you do see matches good enough. So then I did make, I don't know if I even showed you guys, a little slit on the side. And here's the back. If you can see that. And maybe you can see in the mirror. All the sides, the mirror behind me. And now it is done. And I made out of some of my leftovers. I don't want to put it on backwards. Because I really like this pattern. So I made this out of some of my leftover yarns because I don't want to wear a hat. And I didn't have enough to make a hood. Well, I could have, but I just really wanted it to be done. So I did this for, and that is on that Lion brand pattern for the messy bun hat that I just used the pattern and I went like 5 or 6 rows just to make it long enough to cover my ears. And it matches. So now I have a matching hat-ish, headband, ear warmer, whatever you want to call it, to match my very pretty sweater that I totally love. And we're going on a clam bake today. It's chilly. I'm wearing my sweater. Even if I have to hold it closed, I don't care. I'm wearing my sweater and my phone, like I said, fits in the pocket. My little hat fits in the other pocket. I would show you how the phone fits, except then you'll be inside the pocket and you probably won't like that so much. So that is my very awesome sweater. Very cool, very cool. And as I said before, parts of the sweater were all different. This is the big multicolored squares I made out of, not that I want to belabor this, but the multicolored squares are made out of the Caron cake in the cinnamon swirl color. And this is what's left of 2, which is why there was no hood. Well, one of the reasons. Plus, I just didn't want to make the hood because making the little headband way faster. And I really want it to be done. And I thought the hood would just kind of pull it backwards when I'm not wearing it, which would be 99% of the time because I really don't like that stuff. So, anyway, all of the multicolored patterns came from Mikey at the Crochet Crowd, Yarn Inspirations, all of his, whatever he is. And it's his floral Afghan crochet along. I just decided to put them not in an Afghan, and I did not make all of them. The puffier ones, I did have a couple, and they're really not the greatest for this Afghan idea. I mean, for this idea, but I had already made them, so I stuck them in the back. There's just a couple, and they kind of stick out a little and make my butt look even bigger than it already is. But it's behind me, so I don't care. This is from Creative Grandma, and I can't remember the name of the square, but I will try to link all of these. They will definitely be in the I've already made this playlist that I keep, because that's how I keep track of my patterns. So that's those patterns, and the putting it all together and the sleeves, that is a Crystal Bag O' Day pattern. So I again don't remember the title of the tutorial or the numbers, but she showed you how to put one together, and then she did later the tutorials for the squares that she used. And maybe it's like a willow square or an heirloom square or something that she used. But I just followed her design on how to put it together. She did a collar, but she didn't go all this down in the front on hers. I needed it for the width. So when I make this pattern again, I will, I want to make it again. I love duster sweaters. And so and my daughter wants one now. She's like, oh, Mom, I want one, but she doesn't want the same pattern either. So I'm thinking that willow square would be really cool. Just make it big. I don't know how big those willow squares are. Or the other pattern that, the pattern square that Crystal actually used, I think either one of those two. But because I'm a bigger gal, I think when you put it together, like on the front, first you sew the 3 squares up, sew them together in the length. So I think I'll do that, and then once they're sewed together in the length, I'm going to add a couple of rows of like double crochet or whatever at the ends to make it wider, so I don't have to go so wide here. And then my pocket will fit better in the center, so if I add a couple rows in between each, I think that's what I'll do. It'll work better for me. Now for my daughter, who's much thinner, I won't need to do that. But to get around my fluffiness, I added to the front. And when I was making it, I thought, oh, I probably should do that, until I started putting it together, and then I forgot. And then I'm like, yeah, I can't do it now. I didn't think that, first time, you got to learn. And then maybe I could make a bigger collar too. Crystal's collar, I think, is like 18 rows deep or something. Not 18. Her collar is bigger. But I didn't know how to stop and not, just to add to the collar. But I like the way it turned out, and so I'm real happy with it. What I did do different than Crystal is, as suggested by several people of my wonderful subscribers, I went with the smaller hook on the cuff. The squares, the whole blanket was done with a 6mm, and I don't know the letter, but it's a 6mm hook. But my cuffs I did with a 4mm hook. And the cream color yarn is Pound of Love in Antique White by Lion Brand. This is what I have left of 2 of these big balls. And then the pockets. So I did the one pocket first, and I was going to do half double crochet, but that was just taking way too long. And it's a pocket, and it's on the inside, and I don't care. So I thought, I just want it big enough to put my phone in, and so it needed to be long. And my phone is literally this long. So I wanted it a little bit longer than my phone so that it wouldn't be sticking out. So my phone is literally like that long. And so I have like another 2 rows before my phone falls out. And I'm like, it's not going to fall out of a double crochet. So this particular one of the pockets has some half double crochet, and then I'm like, nah, we'll just go double crochet. And I did that. I started it at first I was going to use the 4mm hook and a half double crochet, and that was just, like I said, taking way too long, not growing fast enough. So I ripped that out and went to the double crochet and a 5mm hook. So that's what I did. And the pockets are just, I just made it a rectangle and then sewed the 3 sides together. I was going to crochet round and round and round and round, and I did start that again with the 4mm hook. I don't know why I went to a 4. I just, because I wanted it tight so stuff wouldn't fall out. But I don't really put anything but my phone and my hands in my pockets, so I really decided I didn't need to worry about that. But going round and round and round and like crocheting it right to the sweater was just a big pain in the rear end, because the sweater is big, and like it kept getting twisted, and then I have to like turn the whole thing and turn every so many stitches. Like, nah, that ain't worth it. It was much easier to pull it out, crochet a rectangle, and then sew the rectangle in. So that's what I did. And I just sewed it in with a single crochet. I don't know if I can find a pocket on this side. So yeah. So I just sewed it in with a single crochet join kind of thing. Just because, and I keep finding little tiny tails sticking out. So it's got a little bit of a lip on there that like just kind of sticks out because this edging sticks up, you know. So because I don't see if you can see it this way. See, this edging gives it like a 3-dimensional, where is it? Here it is, ridge. So I thought that if I did that on the pocket, then it would kind of fit in. So anyway, that is my finished, and I will be wearing it today. Oh, and the pocket yarn is this. This is an old yarn. This was in my mom's stash. It's called Miracle Match. I don't know anything about it, but it looks like it's British and American flags on there. And it says it's a 4-ply net weight, 4 ounces, 112 grams, shrink resistant, permanently moth proof. So that's important. Transfers moisture, cool in summer, warm in winter. Well, look at that. But it is, what is this? It is a Furcana plus, I don't know what that word is because it's all crinkled off. Ofen fiber, 75%, and some kind of acrylic, 25%. So I don't know, you probably can't read that very well because I can't read it. It's O-L-E, then I don't know, fiber, 25%. So maybe some of you that have been crocheting a lot longer than me have no idea what that is. Oh no! Goodness gracious, you fell off. How'd you do that? And now am I upside down? I hope not. Well, that's just funny. Just sitting there and down you go. Sorry. And since my camera isn't, I got this new phone on the new camera and I can't get it to hook up to my laptop, I can't even edit. So there you go. You're going to have a fall again. So that is my major finished project. Plus my little headband. So now I have to come up with a new project. I mean, you know, I have these whip bags, but I only have one whip that started. Well, 2. One has been like a whip for 2 years now that I don't know if I'll ever get to. But I have projects in bags, yarn ready to go. So I have one whip that started, and it's a blanket for my daughter-in-law's nephew. And it's made out of that Chateau yarn from Stitch Studio, and it is really nice yarn. It's like that Bernat blanket stuff. Well, this is for my granddaughter, Chloe. And so it's this yarn, and the yarn is so, Chloe has a blanket, she wants another blanket. I made a blanket for my daughter-in-law last year for Christmas out of this same yarn. This is why I have this, because Chloe wants another blanket. But I hate working with it. The blanket for Nick is in dark colors, and I just can't see it, and it's aggravating, and I've made it like 3 times and ripped it out. Make it, rip it out, make it, rip it out. Because my sides are wonky, because I'm not seeing the stitches right. So now I'm trying it in a V-stitch. Cross your fingers. But I'm like, when it comes to working with that one, so I promised him I'd make him a blanket, and I will get it done. I will get it done. Oh, good golly. There you go again. Quit falling. Just stop. I don't know why you're jumping around. So anyway, as far as Nick's blanket go, I promised him I would make it for him, so I will have it for him by Christmas. I will give it to him for Christmas. But in the meantime, I need some smaller projects that I can like take to work. Oh, I do have the dishcloths to work on too. But I need like projects to take to work, so I'm going to do granny square projects for that. And I promised a blanket to Quincy, my granddaughter's boyfriend. So this is, I got to show you what's coming next. Nick's blanket I will force myself to do. And Chloe may never get her other blanket, but you know, I found with that Stitch Studio yarn, and I don't know about Bernat blanket and those other yarns like that because I've never used those. But the darker colors tend to be harder to work with. Like they have a harder drag. I mean, maybe that doesn't make any sense, but that's what I find. They have a hard drag, and you can't see the stitches. The yarn that I made my daughter-in-law's with, and it's similar to the yarn that I'm using for her nephew, Nick. It has light and dark colors in it, and when you're in the dark colors, it's like, oh God, it's really bad. The lighter colors worked a lot better. I made Chloe a blanket in solid white, and that one wasn't nearly as bad. So maybe Chloe will get the yellow blanket at some point in time if it's not as bad. So the yarn that I'm going to use for Quincy's blanket is, I'm going to do a V-stitch. This is my notes. This is how I know what's in the bag. And I think I'm going to do it with a V-stitch. If you guys have a better suggestion, let me know. And I have this Woolies Thick and Quick, blue and gray. And if you guys don't think, I mean, I've not really ever worked much with this. And I have a purple and gray. So and Quincy is good with the colors. I don't know, is this good yarn for blankets? I thought it would work up fast. I really haven't worked much with the Thick and Quick in Woolies, but you know what? It is machine wash and dryable, right? 80%. Oh, that might. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Machine wash and dryable. Okay, good. Because he's a 16-year-old boy, so you know there might not be much like hand wash and lay flat to dry kind of thing going on, particularly as he gets older. So I thought I'd go like one skein of this, one skein of this, one skein of this, one skein of this. So is a V-stitch a good idea? It says to use a 10mm hook, so I was going to do that. Oh, well, it says 9, but I'm going to go 10. No, it doesn't. It says 10. I lied. It does say 10. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I have. Oh, wait. I cannot go 1, 1. I'm going to have to go 2, 1. I have 6. I have 7 skeins of the purple, and I have 4 skeins of the blue. So I think that should make Quincy a pretty good sized blanket. If you guys think that that's a good idea to use this yarn that way. So that's that. So that is going to be one of the projects that I start, because I can start a new, it's a whip, but it's still, I mean, it's an unstarted whip. So now it's going to be a new started whip. So I'm thinking this is something I have to work on at home. I cannot take this with me anywhere because it's going to be too big and bulky. But I think it should work up fast with a V-stitch. And so I'll probably do 2 purple, 1 blue, 2 purple, 1 blue. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. Oh, got to put my notes back in there so I know what I'm doing. And then the other thing that I'm going to start, and I'm not quite sure. I have, because I can take this to work with me. I have a blanket that I want to make. Oh, where's my little paper? It's in here somewhere. Well, I'll show you the yarns real quick. So I have neon yellow. This is Deborah Norville Everyday Anti-Pilling. I have the yellow color that is called probably neon yellow, but let's see. Premier color Amarillo Fluorescent. Oh, fluorescent yellow. Okay. Okay, that works. it is. I'm going to use this big black for an outside edge and to sew all the squares together. And this is Dreamweaver yarn, but it's just a 4-weight acrylic, so I can add a different 4-weight if I can't get that anymore, because that is from my discount store. Then I have the Norville Everyday in flame orange. Then I have all the colors. Let's see, that's the yellow. The purple is bright violet. Oh hell, we'll just pull them out so you can see them. Bright violet. Look at that. This one is called neon pink. I'll stay. And then we've got the orange again. And we've got this green. Don't mind the crinkle because it's not new yarn. I've had it a while. Electric green. And then I have, this is also yarn from my Mark's store, but it's white with all the fluorescent colors in there. These don't get color names, but these are all 4-weight yarns. They're all 100% acrylic. And then I made something out of this, which is a super saver, because I do have one skein of it. I made something, I hated it, I ripped it out. Well, I didn't hate it, I really liked it, but I didn't make it right. I didn't work the pattern the right way, and I didn't like it. So I ripped it out, so I'm going to use these. And that's just, it's called Day Glow in Super Saver. So I'm going to do, I think that V-stitch square, granny square, or maybe the mosaic granny square. I might try both and see which one I like. I really wanted to do the mosaic on this yarn that I have over here. Maybe I'll show it to you in a little bit, but I bought yarn to do the mosaic granny square and make a blanket out of that. It was one of the first yarns I've purchased when AC Moore opened in my area, and I have yet to make the blanket. I just keep getting stopped for whatever reason, starting something else. But I'm really anxious to work on this bright colored blanket for during the winter, because it'll be right in winters in Northern Ohio tend to be gloomy. We have gray skies for months on end. And so I thought if I can work on these bright colors, that would really be cheery. So my plan is, I don't know how big the squares are going to end up being, but like start with this color, then add one of these, then maybe add one of these, and then trim it in black. Start with this color, add one of these, then add one of these, and trim it in black. Start with this, you know, so they'll all be kind of different, but I think I have not as many of the solid colors. I had like 3 or 4 skeins of this. So I have a lot of this yarn, and I have a ton of this yarn. 2, 4, 6. I have 8 skeins of this yarn. And like I said, I think 4 skeins of this yarn. And the colored yarns, let's see, I have 3 of this color, 3 of this color, only 1 purple, 1 pink, 1 green. And, you know, just the black. And I'll probably sew them together with the black. I will definitely trim it in the black so that the neon colors, you know, pop out. That's the whole idea. So I'm real excited to do that. So, and like I said, I think I'm just going to alternate and just kind of grab in, and this will be the next color, and this will be the next color, and the V-stitch should go pretty quickly. So I'm really excited to do that. So I think those are going to be my next, and I can take, you know, some yarn to work. That won't be an issue. Like maybe make a bunch of the centers, and I don't know how big it's going to be. It's going to be until I run out of yarn maybe, or get tired of making it, one or the other. So that is, and probably since I have the least of these, I'm thinking, like, do the centers with the neon color and then come out to the, with the solid, and then come out to this, and then do the black. I don't know, because I have probably the most of this. I don't know. Maybe it'll just be what I grab is what goes next, which could be fun too. So that's what's going on with me and my next whips and finished projects. And that's what I got for you today. I hope you have a great yarny day. Thank you for watching, subscribing, listening. Katie Bear, I finally got your email. I found out it was technical difficulties. New phone, and I'm trying to read them on my phone. I don't know why with my new phone it wasn't coming through my, well, you know what, to be honest, I didn't check on my computer because I always get it all on my phone. But apparently I didn't set up something right, and so the Charmed Grammy Crochet stuff wasn't coming through. Figured it out today, and now I've got a ton of emails. But I did search out yours and found it, and so I will get that yarn out to you. I have a clam bake today. I won't be today. It will be Monday. And again, thank you all for watching, subscribing, and any helpful tips on the neon blanket, let me know. Thanks. Bye.